Well, welcome to the Super Boob Two Dudes podcast. I'm your host, Dante Sarecki, and along with me is Tyler Hoskins. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going. It's going all right.
Nice,
No,
nice.
nice Sunday
Anything
afternoon.
new going on?
No, football.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did the Packers already play the Vikings, or is that later on tonight?
I believe that is later on.
I'd like to know that score. I like to follow the Packers a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Not a huge sports guy, but I like to follow them. Yeah.
Right on.
Anything else new going on since the last time we were podcasting? We have been
No,
away a little while.
yeah, I've been away a little while, but nothing too crazy. No.
Yeah. We we just I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures on Facebook yet, but we just got like a new dog.
Nice.
And like we didn't even it was yesterday, we didn't even expect it. Like we went to the park and there were just these two dogs roaming around. and one was like a little baby like pit mix, and then another one was like an older like Shih Tzu sort of mix. And
Hilarious.
we took the pit bull home, and now she's ours.
That's hilarious.
Like
That's
no
amazing.
tags or anything, and like she was like perfectly clean. And it's our first girl animal in the house. So
Right on.
yeah, she's cute as hell though.
Very cool.
Her name is Jean. But that's pretty much everything that's kind of new so far.
Right on.
Other than that, on the TV front here and all the superhero stuff going on, today we're going to be talking about the whole season pretty much, just real quick and like big beats and story points of Outcast. And kind of like how we did last episode with all of Preacher, we're just kind of going to go over a little bit of Outcast here until we kind of figure out when the next season is going to come, because we're not really sure when that happens. Yeah, there's no real news or anything like that so far. But before we get into Outcast, you want me to just read off a little bit of news I have?
Do it up.
All right. Well, for the DC stuff, um, we have two shows come back this Monday for DC, and one's on, or I think both are on Fox. It We have Lucifer and Gotham coming back,
Oh, nice.
so they come back this Monday, which is the 19th. And then we also have one Marvel show coming back. I think it's Tuesday, and that would be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. starts Tuesday. So we have three shows coming back so far. The season's starting to pick up a little bit, or going to get picked up here this week. And then toward the beginning of October, we're going to get all the rest of those CW shows.
Right on.
But speaking of DC and Gotham and everything, one thing is that apparently Jerome is set to come back from Gotham.
That
I
doesn't
don't know if you remember
surprise me.
Jerome.
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah, he was
surprise
kind
me
of
at
the
all.
Joker. Yeah, so apparently in like the trailer they had, there was like a laugh of Jerome in the
Oh.
latest season 3 trailer. So I think the Mad Hatter, or with whatever was going on at the Indian Hill, they're bringing that character back. So either, I don't know, whatever they're going to do, but they're I like it. I think it's a good idea. I mean, I guess no one really stays dead anymore, but especially if we already know that kind of stuff, especially with everybody else coming back,
Yeah,
it kind of makes
exactly.
sense to bring this one back because he was really good in that last season.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, he was a good breakout sort of character. And I mean, if you want to kind of make him the Joker or whatever for the show, even though this is kind of like its own universe, it works really well. So with that, we have some Flash news. Apparently, Kevin Smith's titled episode is going to be Killer Frost. So I'm not sure how much, or how, I think it may be the fifth or sixth episode in the season. So I'm not sure if it's going to be after the Flashpoint stuff or during it. But apparently, Killer Frost is coming in, and I mean, it can't be Earth 2, so because she's dead. But time has been
Well, yeah,
changed.
exactly.
Right.
So
So what
you
do you
never.
think on that?
I mean, with this, it's with the whole Flashpoint thing. It's good. Everything's going to just change. So anything can
Yeah.
happen at this point, right? So
Yeah,
I'm on board for
definitely.
just about anything. I loved Killer Frost as a character. I was kind of sad when they did kill her off, but now that
Yeah,
they're doing the whole Flashpoint thing, I mean, anything can happen. We could see Ronnie come back. We could see a
sure.
whole bunch of stuff, right? So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, well, this is what they said. They said that there are going to be some lasting effects from Flashpoint, even after, like, I guess the timeline is fixed. I mean, that's not really a spoiler. I think the timeline will be fixed, but I think there are going to be some lasting effects that either change it for different and bring it back to what it was. So things are going to be changed, even though things will kind of be brought back to what they were or should have been.
yeah, for
So,
sure. You
uh,
can't change everything. You can't revert it all back because
well, yeah, yeah.
you're
I mean, you can't just change everything to be totally different, and then you can't just like negate everything and bring it back to what it was. So I think
exactly.
they're going to make a brand new universe with a mixture of everything that's kind of happened, which I really love, and it makes some cool TV. So, um, one other thing with I think that's it with Flash. One more thing. So apparently this guy named Todd Lasance, he's going to be cast as the Rival, a character from the comics called the Rival in season 3. He is Jay Garrick's sort of arch nemesis in the Golden Age. And also there's going to be Mirror Master and then another guy named Savitar that'll be appearing in season 3. So and also Doctor Alchemy and Gorilla Grodd. There's a whole bunch of players, a lot of different actors playing these guys, but we'll get into them as the season goes. But those are some uh, major upgrades with some of the Flash. Um, and yeah, I guess this other guy, yeah, Tom Lasance is going to be the Savitar, and then another. I guess I think maybe Savitar is um, that other character um, who is supposed to be I guess the villain of Jay Garrick. So there's going to be a lot of different stuff. I guess some like Hindu god. He's the Hindu god of motion, who is like he has like he studied elements of the Speed Force and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty cool. He's a guy from he used to play Julian on the Vampire Diaries and a couple other things. But a lot of cool new villains for season 3. Especially with this other character named Magenta. I'm not sure if she is uh, um, a hero or villain, but we know this girl, her name is Joey King, is playing Magenta. So lots of new characters for Flash. We'll come up and see and talk more about as the season goes. But there's a lot of new players for all of these shows, and it's really awesome. Um, then we have a new. There's one rumor. I mean, it was from late August, it's about a month ago, but I kind of hope it's true. I'm not really. I'm not really sure if it'll actually happen. But did you hear about that rumor? How Dean Cain, he's the father of Supergirl,
Yeah,
or not the father, the adopted father.
right.
Apparently, there's a rumor saying that he is the cyborg Superman,
Huh.
which would be kind of cool, right?
That would be kind of awesome. I'm not gonna
I
lie,
mean,
that
because
would
he
be
was a
kind of awesome.
Superman already. I think it
Yeah.
would be really awesome. But it's just a rumor, and I haven't really heard anything else about it since like August 21st when it was posted. So it might not be true, but still a really cool rumor to think about. And another thing with Supergirl, we got a one of my favorite DC and Superman villains, Metallo, is going to be in season 2 here. I don't think they have an actor for Mattel. I think they may have cast him, but I don't have a. Oh, here, yeah, his name is Frederick Schmidt. He's joining Tyler Hoechlin as Superman, but he is playing Metallo apparently, and he's going to be an international assassin named John Corbin, and he's badly injured, and then he's kind of reborn as a cyborg or a robot, kind of like a Terminator robot with a kryptonite heart. And he is an awesome character, and I think it's a great addition to Supergirl.
Nice.
Do you know much about Metallo at all?
I do not.
one of my favorite. Okay, if you ever get a chance, or I think it might be on. I don't know if you can get it on Netflix or anything like that. But in the I think the original Superman cartoon, like the Adventures of Superman, I think that's on Netflix. And if you can access that, like if you have Netflix, right? Or do you
I
guys not
do.
have
I do.
Netflix?
Oh,
Okay,
was that?
so if you can access that show, the Metallo episode is amazing. Is probably the best introduction of the character other than the comics.
All right.
But since it's like a moving picture, obviously because it's a cartoon, it is so good. Like you get Lex Luthor kind of turns this guy who's not really assassin in the cartoon, but they turn this guy that gets hurt from I think a battle that Superman was in, and he uses him to get revenge on Superman, and also kind of turns this guy into this Terminator with a kryptonite heart, and it is an awesome episode of the cartoon. Um, that cartoon is so underrated. You never really hear too much about it.
Right.
And I mean, you always hear of the Batman animated series and
Yeah.
some of the new stuff in Young Justice, but I loved I love that series. It's one of the brightest, most colorful, one of the best portrayals of Superman that's ever been on screen, in my opinion, other than like the original and maybe some Man of Steel stuff. But the cartoon is, and also the Justice League cartoon, but his solo cartoon was so great.
Awesome. All right.
Um, so we got Mattel. Then we had a glimpse of Stargirl in the season 2 teaser of Legends of Tomorrow. Like a very, very quick glimpse, like a 1 second glimpse. And she looks classic Stargirl with like the stars on her costume and the mask and blonde hair and she's got like that staff that she uses, which is going to be awesome. Um, and we also have some, I guess, some time travel stuff with the Legions of Doom. So apparently there was a whole bunch of villains that got together. We got like Captain Cold and Damien Dark and Merlin, and all those guys are going to be in the Legions of Doom, especially with like Gorilla Grodd and Brainiac, the Riddler. Some other guys are in the original Legions of Doom, but apparently they're all going to be introduced here. Um, Maybe here in Legends of Tomorrow. Apparently, I guess they're going to be in the time between 1978 1979, and or I guess that's where the Legions of Doom were created in the 70s here. That were created by Lex Luthor. But there's a picture of Zoom, or not Zoom, but Reverse Flash, who is going to be part of the Legions of Doom in the show. So it's going to be pretty cool to see these new characters, especially like some villains returning that we thought were gone or dead,
Yeah.
and now these new heroes, and also the JSA, and we got Vixen coming, Our Man, Commander Steel, a couple other dudes that will be coming up in Legends of Tomorrow. So a lot of cool new like Silver Age sort of stuff happening in Legends of Tomorrow, which is a lot of fun because we never really get to see these other heroes that are like D-list. And I mean, not to like diminish their awesomeness or their quality of their character, but these characters that are not normally named, they're not normally like known like a Superman, Batman, Spider-Man sort of type or anything. So like Our Man, who really hears Our Man unless you're like a big comic reader or JSA fan and stuff like that. So awesome stuff with Legends of Tomorrow. We also got a glimpse on Twitter of some characters that are going to be in Arrow. So we got a Mr. Terrific in costume alongside Wild Dog and Vigilante, who are going to be in season 5 of Arrow. So really, really quick shots, like guy in a hockey mask, looks a lot of like Casey Jones, which is kind of funny because he played because Stephen Amell played Casey Jones in the recent Turtles movie. So it's pretty funny. So it's like here's Casey Jones and here's Casey Jones, but they're all going to be in season 5 here coming pretty soon. So that'll be October when all that stuff, October 5th. It's all that first and second week of October. We get all these DC CW shows. So that's pretty much it with DC stuff. And for Marvel stuff, we got a character. His name is Ben Barnes. He's going to be joining the Punisher series, We don't know what he's going to play as, but he's an actor who was in the Chronicles of Narnia. He was in this Dorian Gray, a show that's coming up in HBO. Or he was in Dorian Gray in that show, and he's also going to be in the HBO show Westworld,
Oh,
which I
nice.
really can't wait. And we should probably talk about that show
Yeah, I'm
because
pretty pumped for that show.
it is going to be awesome, and it's going to be here in like less than 3 weeks, so like maybe
Excellent.
2 weeks. But so that's a little addition to Punisher, and also we have a thing like Punisher may actually be in Defenders, so
Oh,
that might actually happen. And the most recent news with the Netflix Marvel stuff is that the Russo brothers might actually integrate some Netflix characters into the movies. It's just a rumor or whatever, so we really don't know too much, but maybe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff or maybe Netflix stuff. Those characters may be mentioned or actually used in, say, like I think the second Avengers film that they're doing after Infinity War,
that would be
which is
awesome.
still yet to be named. Yeah, but it would be really cool, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's just street level stuff or whatever, but still, very excited for that. And we have a tease for Iron Fist, this one character named Lee Kung. He is kind of like a rival of Danny Rand in the Iron Fist series, in the in that world they live in Kunlun, the mystical world where the Iron Fist is basically like created and made and formed. So that character is really important, especially in the Matt Fraction series, and then also in the latest series that just came out. I can't remember the guy's name, but he wrote it, he drew it, and he did the colors and everything. But he's a kind of an important character for the Iron Fist character. He's a really, really important rival. He's kind of like the one who wants to be the Iron Fist, but Danny's just better. And even though this guy Lee Kung is kind of more powerful in a way, but I think his evilness kind of keeps him from becoming the Iron Fist. And then with the X-Men stuff, we have the Legion, FX's Legion series coming out.
Yeah.
Apparently, Bryan Singer confirmed it is in the X-Men movie universe.
That's awesome.
So this kid, or this guy, now he's a man now, but this child of Xavier that was kind of abandoned or kind of pushed away. He is the star of Legion, so it's kind of interesting to see this kind of lost son of Charles Xavier, or illegitimate son, excuse me, of Charles Xavier, kind of taking the helm of this show, which is very interesting. But now that we know it is connected to like Patrick Stewart and his Professor X, and also like the James McAvoy Professor X, and like those different timelines or whatever, it is in like present day sort of timeline to the X-Men universe, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Now, I have a little breakdown here of all these shows that are in development with Marvel. The Marvel shows in development here, and I'm just going to kind of list them off. There's an Untitled comedy series on ABC that may be in development here. We also have that Damage Control on ABC, which is kind of like that, kind of like the ripoff DC is. This isn't the ripoff of DC's, but like DC's ripping off the Damage Control stuff with Powerless.
Powerless, right?
So I don't know if the Untitled comedy is this, or if they're kind of mixing those together, but the showrunners are a little bit different, so not sure what's going on that. This other guy, I guess this showrunner, his name is John Riley. I guess he's doing some other Marvel production. I don't really know too much about this guy, but there's another ABC Marvel thing that he's probably doing. Iron Fist we know about, Defenders we know about, Punisher we know about, Cloak and Dagger we know about, and that'll be starting in April on the Freeform network, or ABC Family, if you remember what that is. We know that Runaways is a thing that's going to be starting here soon on
Yeah,
Hulu. That'll
that'll
be
be
next year in August, about a year from now, like
yeah.
exactly a year from now. A new Warriors show is in development with, like, I guess, with one of the lead characters being Squirrel Girl. That's in development, and we also have projects that aren't moving forward. We know that Marvel Most Wanted aren't isn't moving forward, but those characters apparently are coming back in Agents of Shield. Bobby and and Hunter, right?
Yeah.
So they'll be coming. I think that's the only one there. But apparently, I think they're still like up in the air with this New Mutants show or movie. So I don't know if there's going to be a movie, or if there's going to do a show, or if they're what they're doing. But that's the one kind of Fox sort of FX sort of project or whatever, that they don't know what's kind of going on with that. That's pretty much for the news we have today. I mean, do you have anything to kind of say on top of the news stuff,
No,
Tyler?
I don't know.
Anything you're
I'm
interested in?
excited for TV to finally start again. I'm just
Right, I
super
know. I know it's going to be good stuff. I've been just like binging a lot of stuff lately.
nice.
A lot of Amazon shows, Amazon Prime and stuff like that. I've just been loading up on that, finishing a couple seasons of other stuff on Netflix. Currently watching some American Horror Story. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the like series or anything, but I like how it's anthology, so you can kind of pick up wherever you want, like any season.
Yeah,
So I'm watching the Coven season right now, and I really like it. It's really good
nice.
compared to some of the other stuff I've seen. It's really good. So why don't we get into Outcast?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So Outcast is a show that is like produced and written and developed by Robert Kirkman. He did, he's got about like 20 issues out right now on an Image comic, and it's about this guy Kyle Barnes, who was subject to like his mother being possessed, and he realizes he has this power, this ability uh, that hurts the possessed or the demon that is inside a person. He realizes this as a child, but doesn't kind of really understand it until he's an adult, after he's kind of torn his family apart. And it kind of takes it from there. So Kyle is estranged from his wife and his daughter. Basically, the police think that he beat his wife and daughter, even though he was protecting his daughter from his possessed wife. And this is why they split up. And he ends up getting involved with this preacher that kind of at first gets jealous that he has this power after he helps exorcise this one lady and this one child, and kind of goes from there. And they realize there's this demon sort of uh, uh, like, not apocalypse, but he like throughout the series you kind of find out that like the devil, or this really really high powered demon, we're not sure if he's the actual devil, but he kind of portrays himself as that, and he has these power over these demons that are just trying to walk the earth. Like, they're not trying to take over anything, they're not trying to kill humans, they're just trying to be and live on, like, on this plane of existence or whatever, or escape hell for some reason. So it kind of takes it from there. So is that kind of what your take on the show is there, Tyler?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty good
Yeah,
summarization.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what
Absolutely.
do you think of this show?
It is a great show, and I
Yeah,
mean it's very different,
yeah,
right?
I would agree.
It's not like some people tried to tell me it was like it's kind of like The Preacher, but it's not. Like, it's got that possession thing going on, but it's completely different.
Yeah, it's a different take on like the exorcism of Emily Rose, or The Exorcist. Or it is such a different idea, it makes it gives the demon or the being that is like possessing one's like a person way more depth than just this is evil inside a person. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
exactly.
this demon has a personality. This demon is different from every other demon. This demon or this being is wants something and needs something. It needs to feel something, and it's. I mean, it really personalizes that being and that is taking over this person, uh, which is scary. It's way more scary than just here's a demon and here's a guy trying to exorcise it from this person. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I like how there are different stages to like the demons taking over the bodies too,
Right.
right? Like if they get it right away, it's kind of like um, that person is fine, and
Right. Yeah.
if there's a
Exactly.
certain
Yeah.
right, if there's a certain stage like with Kyle's mom, when he there was that certain stage where the demon and the human were kind of fighting each other, but when the demon left, it left her in a coma.
Yeah, like it sucked her being or her essence out of her mind. Like
Yeah,
it used her up because she was possessed for so long
yeah, and then
and
there's the
torturing
guy,
this child.
and then there was the guy in the prison who like it didn't come out,
Right. Yeah, it's still
right?
in there,
Like,
and he's trapped like that kind of forever, like in this asylum.
yeah,
But then also it's not just the demon or not the person, but the demon as well. So like once the demon goes inside or this yeah the being or essence, this dark cloud or whatever goes inside a person, they're like so angry and
yeah,
feral. And like and then they kind of they're kind of like kept captive by other demons that find them. Like remember that uh the trailer that they had in the woods, and then that one guy who was the demon's husband, and they used to put those demons in the trailer so they can get out their anger, and then they would bring them out once they were calm, and then they can kind of get used to humanity and used to this world and used to their feelings, kind of thing like that.
right.
um I thought that was really cool. I mean, like they had to kind of grow with being inside of this new body and this new experience from wherever they came from. Um, Now, what do you think of the characters? What do you think of Kyle and the preacher's relationship?
It's very different, and I mean, like it's obviously a very love hate relationship, right? Like it's
Right, they go back and forth quite a bit.
and in the beginning it was all they were both gung ho about it, and then they were
Mm-hmm.
against each other, and it was like, okay, I'll work with you because we need to get this done. But just
Mm-hmm.
the back and forth is just, and the way they interact with each other is just perfect.
Yeah, I love how the Reverend is very he's very like foolhardy and he's very uh, uh, he kind of works on a lot of like emotions than he does like with his brain, and uses his spirituality to kind of drive him a little bit into crazy positions, more wilder actions than like someone with a little bit of logic would kind of use. And I think that's where we get like the kid Kyle is like he's just trying to understand what's going on, and he's just trying to be good to these other people, even though he knows that there are these dark things out there. Um, but what do you think about the relationship with his like adopted sister Megan? Like this girl is like taking care of him and everything.
Yeah, and it's very very interesting. So
And
it's
I mean, are we kind of just spoiling stuff or what? Or should we not?
no, I think it's been out for a while. I mean, if you're the kind of person who likes spoilers, you're listening to this anyway. If you don't like spoilers,
Right.
you're not going to listen to an entire episode of the show. So
Right.
I think it's fine to spoil stuff at this point, especially since it's
Yeah.
one whole episode.
Sure. I mean, yeah. So with the adopted or with the sister Megan and then her husband, and the relationship with them and the rape that I guess she went through as a child and the secrets she kept from her husband was just, well, I thought that was some great storytelling. I mean, it worked a little bit in the comics, but not as well as it did in the show. That's what I think I like about the show a little bit more than the comic, because it's a little bit slow going and there's some different things already that have like that the Robert Kirkman is able to do like a redo on with the show. And I feel like he has that chance to do that with this show as well as The Walking Dead. Do some redos and change some things that he thinks, should have been, didn't think of when he first wrote it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, the way we had like the relationship between her husband, Mark, and Kyle was great. Him not trusting him at first and then understanding what's going on a little bit, even though he kind of didn't understand that all this stuff was going on with the chief and the Reverend. Like the chief and the Reverend's relationship was great. I loved how they, like, the chief knew what the Reverend was up against and he knew what had been going on in the town and he was keeping secrets from his deputies and stuff. How did you like that stuff in the show?
Well, I mean, it's all small town, right? So you've got to think that somewhere everybody knows what's going on, or like somebody knows. Mm-hmm. So just to see how it all progressed and when people found out, that was cool. And
yeah,
and how, I mean,
especially with the stuff going on in the town after the Reverend was going nuts and trying to exorcise the devil character, the guy named Sidney, Brent Spiner. Like trying to just totally out him and making the Reverend himself look like a nut in front of the whole town. I mean, it was really scary because you know what it is for real, because you're the viewer and you're watching and you know what they've gone through. But the town is like, these guys crazy. And it just makes you feel like shit, because you're like, oh my God, they don't know the truth, but we do. But we also look at him and you're like, he's really acting crazy to these people that don't know shit. And it's a really good, frustrating sort of feeling as a viewer when you watch that scene. And then especially with them cliffhangers that we had with the Megan and her husband. I mean, especially after her husband beat the hell out of that dude that raped her as a kid, when he had nothing to do with anything, and then he ended up doing, having trying to blackmail them and blackmail her specifically.
Yeah, well, that was crazy.
Oh, I mean, because it was really back and forth. Like, you didn't know this guy at all, and then you're like, okay, he seems like he's a bad guy because he did these things, but then they kind of make it look like he's not, and you're like, okay, maybe he's not this bad guy. Maybe he's really just there to sell tires, and you're like, nope, he's really there to be an asshole the whole time, and it ruins him. And then when she gets possessed and she does what she does, it was like the biggest what the fuck moment that I had, I think, last season of any new show. I mean, we had some pretty big ones last season, but I think that one was like, I was not ready to let go of this cop, even though he was kind of a douche and did what he did to that guy. It was like, what the hell did she just do? And it wasn't even her. And when she finds out, it's horrifying. And they do that. They do the horror and they do the gore and the blood so well on this show.
Yeah, I think they do everything so well on this show. Just like the story's being very well done and it's being told so well.
Yeah, it's creepy. It's dark as hell, very dark, like the comics. Lots of like blacks and dark blues and grays and just like shadows, and even in the daytime, it doesn't look very bright. And it's a very dull, colored, dark show. And the gore is not Walking Dead gore. It's very smooth and clean blood and very clean sort of cut horror, and not that gory zombie rotting horror. But it's such a different way to do it. And they just do it really, really well. Now, what do you think about the Reverend doing what he did at the end of the series when he thought he was burning Sydney, this devil character, and he
Yeah.
actually killed that kid? What was that? Was like a what's going on?
As soon as he lit the place up, I'm like, yeah, that's got to be the kid. It has to
Oh,
be.
yeah, because I mean, he was hanging out with him, and the kid. Did you think the kid was a demon, or do you think he was a wannabe?
I
Like
think he was a
he
wannabe.
knew, yeah, like he
He knew
knew
it was.
something was going on. One of the like the character groups I really dug in this show as well was well, I liked the wife. The wife was great, and it was really sad what she did toward the end and how she kind of viewed herself. And after realizing it wasn't Kyle that beat her and her daughter, it was actually her that was possessed. And when she
Yeah,
figures that out, it's so sad.
yeah. That's
And
that's why Kyle didn't want to tell her, right? Like
yeah, yeah.
he didn't
Oh,
want
I
her
mean,
to
and it's
know any of that
crazy
information.
too. And I mean, and like it sounds crazy,
Yeah,
and I think,
absolutely.
like, I mean, as a viewer, you watch, you're like, look, I would tell someone this stuff. You think you would want to say this stuff, but he's really just like, he keeps it to himself, so he doesn't sound crazy, and he doesn't sound like he's lying or making stuff up or making excuses. And it's like, it's really to protect him and his daughter and her as well. But when you're watching it, you're like, oh my God, just tell him. I want him to like
Yeah,
explain. But explaining sometimes just doesn't always, make sense.
right. And well, and
But
he does a terrible job explaining things.
I know I'm very frustrated watching him sometimes. I mean, because sometimes he comes out and says the thing you want, and other times he's all mumble and he just keeps it
Yeah,
all to himself. And you're just
exactly.
like, dude, just spit it out. Just say exactly what we know. But I mean, that's kind of the frustration with him because he really keeps the feelings and the things he needs to say to himself because he's very like introverted that way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I mean, especially with the whole stuff happening when he was a kid, and then all this stuff as an adult. He's just like, you know what? I'm just being myself in this house all by myself, and that's just kind of how he is. But another character set that I really really dug in this series was that the Ogden couple, like that one guy that was the husband to the woman who was the demon.
Oh yeah, that relationship was freaking nuts.
I loved it. I thought, I mean, after we found out who was who, because at first you're like, okay, this guy's a demon, and then you're like, no, wait, he's not. He's just helping his wife, who's the demon. And
Right.
then you're like, are they both demons? And then you find out that like he is facilitating, like he feels better with her. He loves her more. She's a better person with him. It's just, and the way the demon has just set in this person and made a life with this guy and made the person that he fell in love with as a younger person better. It's so sickening. You're just like, wow, he's really, really like embraced this new person that the demon has kind of put into her.
Yeah.
And it made it so much more scary and creepy to me.
Well, that
Um,
that conversation he had with, I think, the chief, right?
yeah,
Because he
yeah,
said,
yeah.
"Well, how would you feel if you met your wife again for the first time? You had your
Right.
first kiss again for the first time, and it was all these firsts again. Like it was, and you just
That's what
you think about that and just go, holy shit, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And then that's what makes it so much scarier because then it's so much more accepted.
yeah,
Like, I mean, these people aren't evil, and I mean, they're doing things that may be evil or joining that side, I guess, if you want to say that. But like, are they, or is this just something that's new and that
yeah,
we don't understand, or is it really evil? Is it demonic? It's so very weird. Like, do the demons like possess or do they just enhance a person?
yeah,
Eh,
exactly, exactly,
that's what makes it so much scarier because they're either a brand new personality or like a pick me up to these people who are down or wrong or whatever, but they're also doing bad things. I mean, you had that one older lady, um, that would burned in her house, or did she burn or did she just die?
I think. I
Or did
think
they exercise her?
Sydney killed her. That older lady.
Okay.
Sydney
Did
killed her.
he? How
Yeah.
did he kill her? I can't remember. Um, did he like
I
slit her
honestly don't
throat?
remember. Yeah, I don't. I honestly don't remember what it was, but I don't think it was burning because that house
Right.
is still there.
Right. The old lady's house is still
And
there.
Sydney's message to the Reverend was one of those little toy doll things,
Right,
saying
exactly.
like,
I think he may have like broke her neck or something like that,
yeah, it was something like that.
but it like sent the demon back to hell and the body died and stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah, that was some messed up stuff. Um, but then also we had that other stuff going on with Sydney and Kyle's mother, and like how she was like she was just used and used and used to just do the worst damage on this kid. But
yeah,
big mystery we still have is how does he have this power? Now, how does his daughter have this power after we found out at the end of the season? Like, she has the same power too.
right. That
And
scene was freaking awesome.
right, exactly. I mean, she's like on the lady's back and like touching her face and she's burnt. I was like, oh my God, so cool.
Yeah, no,
But like,
that was awesome.
why are they
That was
outcasts?
mom, right?
Was it the mom? It
no,
was,
that
oh yeah, that
that
was,
his sister.
yeah, it was yeah, it was his adopted sister,
Yeah,
his adoptee sister or whatever.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like she saved her from him, and then, but like we still have all these questions, like why are they outcasts? Like why do they call them that? Where are they from? Are they descendants of somebody, or are? But then, like they also said this one thing. He's like, you came from someplace else, or you're of something else. They said some kind of clue at the end. I'm not really exactly sure, or can't
Yeah,
remember, but
I don't remember what it said, and it didn't really
like
make
you're not
much
from
sense.
here. He said, like
Yeah,
Sydney says something to the fact that like you're not from here, and you're like, where are they from? Like,
yeah,
are they just a different type of demon, or are they something higher power, or are they of God, or are they're a descendant of something like that? Like, who are they, the bad guys, and these demons are just these things that are kind of inhabiting the earth and doing what they want to do? Because they already said they don't want to take over the world. That's not what
right.
their plan is. They're not trying to infiltrate or destroy or kill anybody. They're just there to live. They're there to move on. It's like they are trying to escape a place and inhabit another place.
Yeah,
So that's what's so weird about the show. You're not really sure who is who and who's on whose side and who's good or who's bad. It's just these people are taking these different, like their different lives in these different directions,
yeah.
and they're not sure what's going on. So like, especially at the end when him and the girl are at the gas station and everybody looks at him and you're just like,
Oh,
oh, this is creepy.
that was a hell of a way to end the season.
Yeah, they're
You
like
know?
they're everywhere. They're
Yeah.
I mean, and they're everywhere. And like how many people are
So fucking
infected or not infected, but are taken over, or how many people are just not people anymore? How many people are actually these demons that are now living these lives for how long? Like how long has this been
Well,
going
yeah,
on? It's not just now.
exactly.
I mean, it could be for centuries.
Yep.
And these people, meaning that Kyle and his daughter, like are just brand new. And maybe they're the infiltrators to their way of life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
maybe.
I mean, see, that's kind of the cool thing I like about this show. You're not sure what's going on, but it's not in a frustrating way. The things still happen the way they happen, but
Yeah.
I love this show. It is definitely my top sort of one of my top cable uh uh comic book type shows, non superhero-y comic book type shows.
Right. Yeah.
Um really excited for season 2. Not sure when that's going to happen, but trying to read some of the comics, and like the similarities and differences are really cool in the comic. But read it trade to trade, or get all the issues and binge them now, because it's a lot cooler and darker, scarier read to read them back to back than they are month to month as they come out.
Yeah.
But reading them in trade is the way to do this series. But the show's great, episode to episode, week to week. It's not that bad. It's not really. I mean, it's good to binge too, I guess, if you can. But it's not as hard to remember what's going on week to week than it is with the comic month to month. But definitely one of the top shows of last season, though, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Like I love Preacher, I really do. But and I mean that was a longer series. Was it a longer? Or was it still 10 episodes?
I think it was 10 episodes.
Yeah,
it might have been 11.
Yeah, it was something like that. But I think I liked Outcast more than Preacher. I love how Preacher was kind of a prequel to what the comics were, and that's where I think the second season is going to be really good. But for the first season, I would go Outcast over Preacher. Preacher's a better binger show than it is week to week, but Outcast is great week to week. So check that out. It is on Cinemax, and I mean you have to get a subscription to that, or view that any way you feel.
Yeah, if you got HBO in Canada, you can watch it in Canada. So.
Oh, that's kind of cool. It's on HBO in Canada. Nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like, is Cinemax owned by HBO?
I don't know. But maybe
so
HBO Canada got the rights to it because we don't have a Cinemax up here.
That may be. That's interesting.
There's certain because we don't have the CW isn't a channel in Canada. So
right. So how do you guys do those?
So there's a channel called CTV up here, which is basically the Canadian television, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's what the most of the shows on the CW shows are there. So it's all about
cool.
It's all about getting the rights to the show, but like things that are on ABC or NBC, CBS, they show up on the same channels up here.
Oh wow, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much the show, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
It's all about Outcast this season. So or this episode season
for sure.
But yeah, definitely like this was basically our end of the season, sort of end of last season sort of show. Even though we're kind of right on the cusp of the new season starting. So just to kind of that's why we had so much time in between and everything. But this was good. I mean, what are we looking forward to next season? I mean, all that CW stuff, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow.
I am super pumped to get back into watching everything like that, and I'm so excited.
I mean, and do you want to do a episode by episode of Luke Cage? On like the end of our regular show, or how do you want to do that?
I think we should do it like we've done Preacher and Outcast, and so all those Netflix shows. We should just go do one big episode of the whole show.
Is that you want to do that for sure? Okay, I was thinking maybe if easier.
I think it'll be easier, at least for me, because like I'll just sit there and binge it. Like it'll take a week. I'll just go through it. So it'll be easy.
I think
take one big episode, and that's what we'll do.
Okay. No, that's totally great. I think that's a good idea. I mean, because we're not a single show.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we were just Tyler and Dante do Luke Cage, then it would be just the show. But we do so many different superhero and comic book shows. I think that'll work. Yeah, that'll work best.
I think the Netflix stuff we should just do the whole season and just crush it.
I think so too. I mean, it's better to hit those major beats and major characters and their major character stories together. and I'll like not even in order, but just kind of go through it. And I think that's a good idea too. So
For
we'll
sure.
do that. And that comes out September 30th. So
Oh,
we'll probably do that within the 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks after it's been out. And we'll pound through that while we do our regular show. I think we're doing it every Sunday now, right?
yeah, we're gonna record every Sunday, and
And I mean, yeah,
hopefully
we'll try to stick to that.
we'll get the audio out for everybody to listen to us that same Sunday as well. So
Awesome. That's great. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are interested in contacting us, we have our new website set up. Our I guess new formatted website. I guess not really a new website, but superboobtubedudes.com. Email us, Facebook us, superboobtubedudes, Twitter sboobtubedudes, and we're on Instagram as well. Not so much, but I mean, I'm kind of all over the Facebook stuff as much as I can. I mean, I wish Facebook wasn't being such an asshole, and I'd be able to tag pages, but I don't know why it won't let me tag pages anymore. But I guess I'll just hashtag shit.
hashtag.
Yeah, it's really being a pain in the ass for some reason on my phone. I'm not sure why, but I used to be able to tag pages, and now I can't. They won't even come up. But yeah, I'm all over Facebook. All of our news is pretty much pulled from there on the show. Like I always have it up there, and then I'll go through it before the show, and I'll review the news I've already posted. So that's kind of what's going on with that. But we'd love to hear from you if you're interested in doing so, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, we'll read it on the show, and we'll discuss that if and when that comes up. All right. So that's pretty much the show, and I am Dante Serecchia.
And I'm Tyler Hoskin.
Keep on tubing, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to another Rabble Press podcast. Please contact us through our website, rabblepress.com/contact. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow your favorite podcasts on Twitter.